Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix, Sileo, Tales of a New Dawn. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it for free on itch.io, but if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, then you can go to the Patreon, where it is $5 a month, $54 a year. So, on the last Let's Play, we reminisced about drunken escapades, both me and Ty. Right, it's been like a minute since I've played this game. Like, not too long, but it's like... I've been trying to do this thing where I mainline a game until we finish a route. And this one just kept on going, and so I had to give it a hot minute, but I was like, yeah, we'll come back to it for at least one episode, you know? So, yeah, I think that's everything. Reset face. And begin. As we had conversed, our path had taken us past the end of the boardwalk and a short distance into the northern part of town, where we came face to face with a familiar-looking concrete staircase which stretched upward into the trees above. Unless Ty was foolish enough to spend our new first date visiting Apollo, there was only one other destination I could think of that these stairs would lead us to. Don't you think it's a little warm for Hotsprings? Ah, I see the secret is out. Indeed, that is our destination, and I feel that the increased elevation and the peculiar dress code will make the temperature just right. I admit, I have the hot springs on my mind since you brought them up last night. I hope you approve my choice. It's not that I didn't like the hot springs. It was more the events that had unraveled during my previous visit, specifically in pursuit of Logan. I knew Ty was perfectly okay about it all, but that didn't stop me from feeling slightly uncomfortable all the same. To me, the knees felt like revisiting the scene of a crime, though Ty also knew that what happened there. And in choosing the venue regardless, it was a testament to just how little it truly bothered him. But I also hopefully don't truly bother him. Perhaps I was just being silly? Adrian? Sorry, it's nothing. Don't worry. You chose perfectly again. I love the hot springs. I'm just again sorry that I bashed this game a bit. Not really bash, but like tease it, but just like, yep, the main character's saying out loud or thinking out loud what everybody knows, kinda. Thank goodness. Though I understand, given recent events, if this might not be a little strange for you, I'll happily go somewhere different, if that is what you prefer. No. How many other places will I get to see you strip in front of me? I guess the house? In his work area office? If we're doing it, in private-ish. You're not taking that away from me. Come on, these stairs won't climb themselves. Ha, you sly husky you. Very well then, let's work up a sweat, on these stairs before we get there. Last one to the top, undresses last. You don't know who you're messing with. You're on. He's more unfit than you, Adrian. Even though you're younger. Following an intense stair race, which had ended in my favor. Really? Huh. We had long last arrived at the venue of our romantic date. I still felt the same unease, but I tried putting it aside. This was my first date with Ty since our reunion, and last thing I wanted was to ruin it for the both of us. That's a typo. I think. It's funny when you do sometimes see typos and it's like, that's a typo, and then you reread and it's like, actually no, that's just me. I couldn't believe how fast you can move. I suppose my handed heft does have the occasional downside. I do not suppose you would tell me how much you weigh? 69 kilograms. Why's that? Okay, because I am not from Europe, nor am eloquent in that stuff. Was it 69? Nice. Huh, he's lighter than me. It was kind of funny because, like, apparently I'm lighter than most people. Like, when I told people at my old job that I only weigh like 170, 165 pounds, they're like, no you don't. And it's like, yeah I do. Unfortunately for that trip, that was the last trip I had. Because downsizing and stuff, quote unquote. Or retaliation, who knows. You jest? Nope, at least that's what I was when I last weighed myself back in Sidonia. I've gone up a notch on my belt, thanks to Diego's breakfasts, so I'm probably somewhere in the low 70s in reality. Quite a terrific number to land on, I must say, though it also makes a lot of sense why I lost. Last I checked, I was 109, and no matter how powerful my thighs may be, gravity will do as gravity does. Damn it, and I just closed it. $240. Ah, but forget that. For we have arrived. I admit, it has been some time since I last visited this place. Apollo and I went on occasion, and with his association with it, but not since the last spring, due to the warm weather. Luckily for us, there's a general chill in the air. The increased elevation has worked its magic. Though tell me, was it this hazy when you were here last? I do not recall the visibility being so poor. It was exactly as Ty had said. The thick mist hung in the air, obscuring details that were more than a few meters away. It definitely wasn't like this. Well, we should consider ourselves fortunate. The water will no doubt be hotter than usual. A rare treat thanks to the unusual thermal activity, but let us not become distracted by conversation. We can converse to our heart's content with our delightfully warm water. Agreed. I've been so busy the past few days. I bet a soak will do some good. Now, I hope you haven't forgotten the terms of our agreement. I was the first to the top of the stairs, which means... Yes, I have not forgotten. As promised, I will be the first to undress while you relax and enjoy the show. Now we're talking. Let's see those goods, you handsome devil. Wait, I thought I was supposed to be the one to undress first. My love, it would be my pleasure. I watched closely, blinking only to clear the mist from my feasting eyes as Ty removed his hoodie, revealing his intricate, muscular physique below. He placed his hoodie neatly on the ground nearby before he slowly began to unbutton his trousers, taking his time to build up my anticipation. He reached his thumbs beneath the elastic of his underwear, playfully stretching at the waistband without ever quite committing to their removal. I felt drool run down my chin, the irresistible view conjuring up a certain amorous hunger. And though he continued to tease for some time thereafter, sorry, it's a reading yawn, I would eventually receive the extravagant feast I so ravenously anticipated. I probably need to censor that. Like, I can't see anything here, I can't see anything there, but this game does something very deceptive where you can kind of maybe sort of parse out something. The view was every bit incredible as the first time I laid eyes on it. Those magnificent hefty balls, that girthy shaft that supported his flawless pink head. Yes, I so badly want to enjoy it all up close and personal, but I resist the urge, if only barely. I knew there would be plenty of time for that soon enough, and good things come to those who wait. I hope the view is to your liking. It's exquisite, as always, a reminder of how lucky I am. How lucky we are. Though hardly needed, perhaps you should care to offer me a similar reminder? Your wish is my command. I began just as Ty had done by removing my jacket and shirt. Placed them carefully Sorry, it is late. I forgoed my cups of tea for the evening. Ooh, because I thought I was going to be doing something, but that's another matter. Carefully on the ground, beside his recently shed tire, I then reached down to my belt and attempted to open the buckle. Attempted. For you see, I would quickly discover the mechanism had become jammed. Frustrated, I began to fumble with the buckle, yanking it from side to side, as my sounds of frustrated grizzling grew in their intensity. I seemed to understand that predicament I had landed myself in, promptly beginning to laugh at my expense. How'd it get jammed? Oh. Don't laugh. This isn't funny. I apologize. Something like this is just so typical, is it not? Allow me to render assistance, my love. No, it's okay. I can get this. Ugh. I continued to fidget with my belt, in desperate plea to become unsnared, but efforts seemed to only have the opposite effect. Somehow, I'd become even more stuck than before. Please, allow me to help you, and lest you intend to once again decline, know that I insist, and not only because of the delightful position of helping you would have me assume. I sighed, rolling my eyes dramatically, as Ty grinned mischievously back. I chose to swallow my pride, ooh, allowing the tenacious tiger to have his fun. Yeah, I'm gonna have to censor that. Come on then, get these damn pants off me already. There are a few things I'd like to do more, my dear. I came to my beloved's rescue, easing down to get a close look. Sorry. All of a sudden, reading yawns are just like, hey, you know that you're reading? How about we yawn a whole bunch? I know it's like 10 o'clock, but still. Think of the troublesome contraption. I shuddered ever so slightly. The cobblestone cold against my fleshy underside undressed sensitive areas. Regated to the bare stone on account of our differences in height. Sadly, I had little choice in the matter, as kneeling down would have brought my eyes level to his pectorals, not nearly close enough to this delightful groin, which waited me further below. And with such a delightful destination, a small chill was little price to pay. Adrian's belt was not the typical notched kind, instead a nylon belt whose buckle featured several sharp teeth that dug into the material when closed, locking in place. And inspecting the buckle closely made the nature of his dilemma painfully obvious. Within the closed buckle, the nylon belt had somehow become folded in half. Belts of this sort would usually have a small metal strip on the end to hold them rigid and prevent such a thing from happening. Alas, it was clear that his belt had been a mainstay of Adrian's wardrobe for many years, the absence of that component being but one of many obvious signs of wear and tear resulting from considerable use. The resulting increase in thickness within the mechanism prevented the buckle from swiveling as it normally would have, hence Adrian's dilemma, and though this problem was easily diagnosed, rectifying it would be another matter entirely. How's the weather down there? Tremendous, thank you, my love, though I am merely visiting on business. As you know, a joyous vacation remains forthcoming. So, how's it looking then, Doc? You've got some good news for me, right? Not so, I'm afraid. The only way this buckle will be opening is by force, and looking at the whirlingly loose hinge, I cannot really say it will survive such treatment, though the belt, as a whole, has seen better days. Perhaps a sign that it's high time for replacement? Oh, even if it survives, believe me, after this, it's going straight to the trash the minute I get home. Finicky thing has been grinding my gears for a while now, and this is just the last straw. Then, I have your blessing to grant your freedom by force? Hell, being undressed by force sounds like my kind of party. Maybe you should do it more often. I will certainly take you by request into careful consideration. Now then, let's get this you into compliance with the dress code. I dug my claws into the narrow gap between the buckle and the securing a reliable grip. Using the curvature as an anchor, I began pulling with every last ounce of strength I could muster. I was always eager for an opportunity to use my muscles, especially considering the time and effort I spent maintaining them, though this was most certainly one of the more unusual applications of my might. Nonetheless, this time around, defeat would not be an option. As I strained, I felt clearly budgeted cost metal the buckle was constructed from began to bend and buckle, and before long, a hand created a gap sufficient to fit my fingers beneath, allowing for sturdier grasp through which even more strength could be applied. I doubled down, using this newly won advantage to apply even more force, to obstricate buckle until, at the very long last, to the obstinate, Adrian was free, the poor quality hinge having succumbed to the strain, as I had foreseen, the metal completely twisted out of shape, and now fit for little more than scrap. I pondered to myself whether one of my many designer belts back home would be a good fit for him. Even though I had done so with his blessing, I still felt a little bad about the damage it caused, though the act giving him a belt of my own would primarily be as a gift, and less so as a matter of soothing my conscience. It's a good thing you're not relying on a belt to keep your pants in place, otherwise you'd have something of a snafu. Yeah, thank goodness for that. Diego's greasy breakfast might have been a lifesaver after all. Now then, seeing that you're down there, would you like to do the honors? My, how very forward of you. Of course I would, my dear. That would be most marvelous. Having received all that invitation that I had needed, I eagerly released the button on Adrian's fly before sliding the zipper downward and reaching back up to the waistband, grabbing the sides with each hand. Then, with the dire absence of patience and finesse, I pulled them down, revealing Boji Wojies. Well, hello there. No underwear, I see? What's the occasion? Surprise! It's easy access, I guess. Easy access, you say? I see. Then, allow me to take full advantage of this unexpected boon. Wait, right here? Right now? Indeed. It's been a while, you see, and I'm simply dying for an opportunity to become properly reacquainted. I grinned slyly as I lowered my gaze to the generously sized and tastefully proportioned equipment. I'm gonna have to censor some of this stuff as I say it. Positioned mere inches from my nose, Adrian's alluring package was coated in over half an inch of silvery gray fur. I was thinking of something else, but it's good it's fur. That was every bit as soft as it appeared. This I knew from experience. His, puppy makers were eventually evenly suspended and of identical size, resulting in an impressive demonstration of biological symmetry, and above that could be found a wonderful puffy sheath that acted almost like a designer's sleeve, protecting an incredible instrument concealed within. Being so close, it was impossible to breathe without inhaling a mighty whiff of his awe-inspiring aroma, something of which, more than likely influenced by an almost subconscious decision to do what I knew was more than a little reckless and foolish. I carefully grasped Adrian's thingy with one hand and began gently doing a thing with his things on the other. You see, before I could get things underway, Adrian would need to become wooed. We're really doing this right here? Indeed we are. You may have passed the visual inspection with flying colors, but it simply cannot give the full approval without performing a practical assessment to ensure everything works to specification. You really are something else entirely, Ty. You have nothing yet. You've seen nothing yet, my love. I closed my eyes, plunging Just want to do one thing. Sound effects? There we go. Actually, let me just make sure one thing. Yeah. Okay, just wanted to be sure. Close my eyes, plunging into rapidly escalating uwu as I began teasing, Adrian with a thing. I felt his body shiver as my, cat features did a thing over the foyer. Ooh, heck, I miss those. Despite any reservations I had. Let's just pull this thing down. Okay. May have had this small but rapidly growing. Wait, small? Thingy was protruding in a location, and I was doing exactly the exact thing. Then. Oh, hello! How you guys doing? I froze as a jolt of lightning shot down my spine, bringing me to sudden attention. Adrian's tail, which had previously swayed happily from side to side, was now held forward between his legs, a confirmation that he too heard what I had. Oop, was this? Just making sure. Okay. In unison, our gazes connected. Adrian's face of a sudden discomfort and fright. It became abundantly clear that we had both come to the very same conclusion. We were not alone, as we previously believed. Let me guess, Logan? Ty? Yes, I know. I climbed my feet before turning my eyes towards the water, straining to make out any detail in this still thick blanket of steam. Whoever it was did not stand out against the endless sea of white. In fact, the fact which led me to few possible conclusions. Do you see anyone? Please, tell me you can see someone, because I can't, and that creeps me out. Not yet, but I have some theories. Consider that you, or I, would stand out like a sore thumb in the mist. Now, what does that tell you about whom we are looking for? That they are a ghost? No, not a ghost. But what color are ghosts? White? Oh, exactly. Which means you're probably hiding in plain sight. Keep your eyes peeled for anything inconsistent with your surroundings. You will scan the mist carefully, looking for what I could only assume would become painfully obvious once seen, and sure enough, my eyes would soon land upon the visage of a young man whose striking blue eyes peered nervously in our direction, partially concealed beneath the steam-laden waters. Also, did they smell him, or did they just almost sense him? I felt a pang of intense embarrassment, having behaved in such an undignified manner in the presence of an unwitting stranger, though I also knew I had become carried away yet again, having pushed the boundaries bit by bit before Adrian's intense aroma took hold, prompting such ungentlemanly behavior. I guess we can put the this back up. Oop. The stranger's eyes widened once he realized I had seen him, and we stared at one another in silence for several moments until... Logan? Is that you? Indeed, it was. I had recognized him right away, already familiar with his appearance from having seen several of his impressive battles at the combat tournament the previous year. I carefully considered whether I should interject, but eventually I chose to remain silent, allowing my handsome lover to tend to the matter itself. After what had happened between the two only so recently, it seemed to be for the best. Come, let's get in the water. We can speak with him there. As you wish, my love. As he approached in unison, the expression on Logan's face betrayed his extreme discomfort and nervousness. His eyes darted back and forth between Adrian and myself in a state of panic before he slowly and rigidly sank deeper, still below the surface of the water. Surface and surrender. I recalled that Adrian had told me the night before about how distant he had been with him at first and how much effort it had taken before he would change. I knew that Logan was not easily trusting, so I made something of a mental note to go easily on peeking on the peking polar bear. Persistent circumstances notwithstanding, is that really one word? I had no desire for him to feel any greater discomfort, and he was Adrian's friend. I would do well to treat him with respect he deserved. However much that might be, given the events which had transpired only moments ago. Both Adrian and I were already fully prepared to enter the water, our bare bodies, because he's bare, in full compliance with the dress code, and the slight chill which nipped at our extremities only served as greater motivation. And so the two of us began easing ourselves down into the serene emerald waters. Ooh. Notices your bulge? I kind of feel like we should end this here because I think there might be a scene between Ty and Adrian and Logan, but I'm not 100% sure. And you know how this game goes. Because we spent, what, maybe about 5-8 minutes on dealing with a belt. Like, I do feel bad that I do kind of, as I went halfway through this, route, I'm like, boy, this is long. But it's also just like, boy, this is long. Like, the amount of times that they go, and we're gonna tell you what we're telling you, how they say it in books or, like, things. Say what you're gonna say it, and then say what you said. It's like this game does that. And, I don't know. What's the last one? 33 minutes, and this one will be a bit shorter than that. So, I think that's a good time to call it. Because we're definitely not going to get... Even if we were rolled back in time 7 minutes, we wouldn't be able to finish the next scene. No way, no how. So, end of this one. So, please comment, because I like comments, if you like, dislike, tips, tricks, otherwise, if you like my YouTube. And would like to see it grow, then please subscribe. And check out the videos to help it grow. Please remember to spay new animals to help control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's available free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the newest version earlier, then you can go to Patreon, which is $5 a month, $54 a year. And until next time, another Let's Play by me, GamerWolfSix, of Sileo, Tales of a New Dawn. A game there's probably a year's left of content left. I mean, I just kind of want to be a little silly and go back in time-ish. How many months are there in a year? Do. So, almost a year ago... Oh, wait, yeah. Let's see. We met Russell, and we went camping. It's a long time ago. Like, I've never played a visual novel whose content was... How long would it be? Like, assuming every one of them's 30 minutes. Actually, I guess we could calculate how much time there is, not by just, going, how much time there is, but by, selecting it and having my thing calculate it. So, yeah, 30 hours. I've never played a visual novel where one route was over 30 hours. It's just insane. Anyways, until next time, another Let's Play me, GamerWolfSix, of the game that will never end. It goes on and on, my friend. Somebody started reading it, not knowing what it was. You know that thing. People started reading it just because. See ya.